Across the United States, countless horror films have been shot in real locations with dark and chilling histories. Abandoned hospitals, ghost towns, old mansions, lonely roads, and forgotten cemeteries have all served as terrifying backdrops. Many actors and crew members claim these places didn't just look haunted, they felt haunted. Strange footsteps, cold spots, shadows, and eerie whispers have turned ordinary film shoots into real-life nightmares, making these locations truly unforgettable. Now we will visit the most haunted horror films locations in the USA. Number 1. Wilmington, North Carolina. Wilmington, North Carolina, sometimes called Wilmywood, is more than just a charming coastal town. By night, its misty streets, quiet river banks, and ancient brick buildings seem to hum with unseen energy. Beneath its sunny facade lies a real darkness, a place where horror films are made, and where the line between movie set scares and real haunted whispers often blurs. One of the most famous horror films shot here is The Conjuring 2013. Though the terrifying Perrin farmhouse was largely built in a studio, the filmmakers returned to Wilmington's old neighborhoods to shoot exteriors and atmospheric scenes. Cast members later whispered that during late-night shoots, lights flickered on and off in empty houses, and cameras picked up faint footsteps in rooms where no one stood. Some crew members swore they saw shadowy shapes moving just beyond the frame, as though the place itself was watching. Another chilling film, Halloween Kills 2021, used Wilmington's dark backstreets in the Rusty Nail Bar, actually a real long-time dive bar, for its scenes. According to local accounts, extras and crew reported seeing a tall, silent figure standing across the street during night shoots. When confronted, it simply faded into the fog. One actress even later said she heard breathing in her ear when no one was nearby, as if something was waiting for her in the shadows. Then there's Scream 2022, whose production used Wilmington's middle school and the riverfront for some of its most suspenseful moments. During filming, cast members claimed that they felt cold gusts of wind even on warm nights, and that whispering voices echoed near empty hallways after wrap. Some locals insist that the water of the Cape Fear River holds a restless spirit, one that seemed drawn to the movie making, almost as though it relished being part of the horror. Wilmington's haunted reputation isn't just legends. The town even offers haunted tours under the name Haunted Wilmington, boasting real ghost stories linked to abandoned mansions and hidden corners. For those who come here chasing horror, Wilmington offers more than just a backdrop. It offers a feeling, deep and unsettling. When cameras roll and the lights go down, some filmmakers say the real terror begins. Number 2. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, Louisiana is one of the most haunted places in America, and when film crews arrive, they quickly learn why. The city carries a heavy mix of old cemeteries, decaying mansions, forgotten slave quarters, and long, silent streets where the past feels painfully alive. 3 major horror films shot here: The Skeleton Key 2005, Hatchet 2006, and Interview with the Vampire 1994. Each brought their own chilling encounters, leaving cast and crew shaken long after filming ended. During The Skeleton Key 2005, the production used an old plantation house deep in the Louisiana marsh. Crew members said the house always felt as if it was breathing, settling loudly, whispering through the walls, and filling rooms with sudden cold air. One night, an actress ran out screaming after a locked attic door swung open by itself. The security guard checked the room, but dust on the floor showed no footprints except hers. Some crew members refused to be inside the house alone, claiming they heard humming from upstairs even though the power was off. The filming of Hatchet 2006 in the swamps around New Orleans was even worse. Actors often worked knee-deep in dark water where the director said he heard splashes behind the boats, as if something was swimming just out of sight. Several extras quit after seeing glowing eyes between the trees, eyes too high to belong to an animal. A stuntman later reported being shoved from behind while standing on a dry patch of land, but the mud showed no prints anywhere near him. Locals told the crew the swamp had old spirits who hate being disturbed, and the cast believed it. For Interview with the Vampire 1994, late-night shoots in the French Quarter brought their own terror. Actors described seeing figures crossing the street in the distance, only to vanish before reaching the lights. A makeup artist felt someone tug her hair during a break, but she was standing alone in an empty courtyard. The sound crew picked up faint crying on their recordings near St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, even though filming had stopped and the cemetery was locked for the night. New Orleans doesn't just host horror movies, it joins them. The city's restless spirits seem to watch every camera, move through every set, and remind everyone who comes here that in this place, the dead are never far away. Number 3. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California may look bright and glamorous, but beneath the lights and luxury lies a darker world that filmmakers know all too well. Many neighborhoods hide abandoned houses, empty theaters, forgotten hospitals, and lonely backroads that carry unsettling histories. Because of this eerie mix, Los Angeles has become one of the most haunted filming locations in the state. 3 famous horror films shot here: A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, Insidious 2010, and The Ring 2002, all experienced terrifying incidents that the cast and crew still refuse to talk about in detail. During A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, much of the film was shot in quiet suburban Los Angeles, especially around the old Nancy Thompson house. Crew members said the house felt too silent, even when filled with people. A camera operator claimed he heard soft scratching coming from the walls, but when they opened the panel, nothing was inside. One actress said she felt someone sit beside her on the couch during a break, causing the cushion to sink slowly, yet she was completely alone. The director admitted later that during night scenes, he often saw a figure standing on the staircase, but whenever he looked directly, it disappeared. Insidious 2010 brought its own frightening moments. Filmed inside an old Los Angeles home rumored to have a tragic past, the atmosphere on set was thick and heavy. Actors complained of sudden cold spots even in summer heat, and makeup artists said prosthetics fell off actors without reason. One night, a child actor burst into tears, saying a man with a burnt face was standing behind the door. When crew members opened it, the hallway was empty. Electricians reported lights turning on by themselves, and recordings picked up faint breathing whenever the crew stepped away from the room. The filming of The Ring 2002 was spread across Los Angeles, including abandoned buildings and dark alleyways in the downtown area. A stunt woman said she felt her long hair pulled hard during a rehearsal, but no one was near her. A sound technician claimed he heard a woman crying through his headphones while filming near an old warehouse that had been closed for decades. When they reviewed the audio later, the crying was still there, soft, distant, and impossible to explain. Several crew members refused to return to that location after one night when a pale figure was spotted moving between the broken windows. Los Angeles may be a city of dreams, but for horror filmmakers, it often becomes a city of shadows. Every old building seems to hide a story, and every dark corner feels like something is watching, waiting, and wanting to join the film. Number 4. Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is known for its vibrant culture, live music, and southern charm. But beneath that lively surface lies a darker, more sinister side. The outskirts of Austin, with its remote forests, abandoned farmhouses, and quiet country roads, have become a favorite for horror filmmakers. 3 of the most famous horror films shot here: The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, The Hills Have Eyes 2006, and Sinister 2012, each brought not just fictional terror, but real-life paranormal encounters that terrified cast and crew alike. During the filming of The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the crew used old, decaying houses in the outskirts of Austin to capture the film's raw, unsettling energy. Actors reported hearing doors slam and footsteps echoing in hallways when no one else was around. One actress froze mid-scene, insisting she felt someone breathing down her neck, even though the cameras clearly showed she was alone. Crew members often found objects inexplicably moved between takes, and some swore they saw shadows flit across walls just out of the frame. The unsettling energy of the abandoned property seemed to follow them home, leaving many uneasy long after filming ended. The Hills Have Eyes, which used remote desert-like areas and sparsely wooded lands outside Austin, brought a different kind of fear. Actors reported eerie, almost unnatural silence when walking through the isolated landscapes. One stuntman claimed that while setting up a shot near an abandoned shack, he heard screaming from behind a ridge, only to find nothing there when he ran toward it. Nights on set were the worst. Crew members often refused to stay late because they felt eyes watching from the shadows, and some even heard faint whispers calling their names across the empty terrain. For sinister, exterior shots around the rural outskirts of Austin became scenes of genuine unease. During night shoots, Actresses felt sudden cold touches on their shoulders, and one camera operator reported catching a pale figure in the background of a frame. It wasn't in the script, and no actor or crew member was there. Equipment would frequently fail without explanation, lights flickered, and a few extras quit after claiming they saw ghostly figures emerging from the trees. Austin's natural charm makes it seem harmless during the day, but for horror filmmakers, it becomes a place where the past lingers in every abandoned building and deserted road. The town's eerie energy seems to watch over each production, turning movie magic into a chilling experience that feels all too real. Number 5. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon is a city known for its misty streets, dense forests, and fog-covered bridges, but it has long been a favorite for horror filmmakers because of its naturally eerie atmosphere. The combination of shadowy alleyways, old industrial buildings, and rain-soaked neighborhoods makes it perfect for terrifying scenes. 3 famous horror films shot here: I Know What You Did Last Summer 1997, The Ring 2 2005, and My Soul to Take 2010. Each left cast and crew with experiences that were far more frightening than anything scripted. During I Know What You Did Last Summer, crews used Portland's rain-drenched streets and quiet residential neighborhoods to create suspenseful night scenes. Actors reported hearing footsteps behind them when the streets were empty, and some claimed they felt a cold presence brushing past their arms during takes. One actress swore she saw a shadowy figure moving in the background, but no one was there when the cameras rolled. Crew members noticed lights flickering in an abandoned house where they had set up equipment, and sometimes microphones picked up whispers that were never spoken on set. The Ring 2 used Portland's abandoned buildings and damp riverfront areas to film many of its most haunting sequences. Cast members often described sudden drops in temperature in hallways where cameras were rolling, and some reported hearing faint crying in empty rooms. One camera operator caught what appeared to be a pale, shadowy woman in a doorway, but when the crew rushed to the location, it was empty. Extras refused to walk certain streets alone after night shoots, claiming that unseen eyes seemed to follow them from the darkness. For My Soul to Take, filmmakers took advantage of Portland's foggy parks and wooded outskirts. During night shoots, actors reported hearing whispers calling their names, and one stuntman said he felt a hand brush against him while standing alone on a trail. Crew members experienced unexplained malfunctions in lighting equipment, and some even claimed to see figures moving across the forest when no one was there. A few locals warned the production team that the woods were restless, and their warnings seemed to match the strange occurrences on set. Portland's haunting energy is subtle during the day but comes alive at night. Every abandoned building, shadowy alley, and foggy forest seems to carry a story. For horror filmmakers, Portland is more than a location. It's a silent witness, a hidden participant, and sometimes a very real source of terror. Number 6. Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita, California may look peaceful with its quiet suburbs, rolling hills, and wide-open roads, but filmmakers know the truth. Once the sun sets, this place carries a strange, unsettling energy. It has become one of the most used horror film locations in the state, hosting productions like The Final Destination 2009, The Babysitter 2017, and Megan 2022. Behind the camera, however, Santa Clarita has given cast and crew more real fear than they ever expected. During the filming of The Final Destination 2009, the production worked on abandoned highways and old industrial zones around Santa Clarita. Actors reported hearing tires screeching when the roads were completely empty, as if an invisible car was barreling toward them. One stunt driver claimed he felt someone tap on his shoulder while sitting alone in the car rig. Extras refused to stand under a broken overpass because they kept hearing low whispers drifting from beneath the concrete. Even the director mentioned that certain areas felt too silent, the kind of silence that presses against your skin. For The Babysitter 2017, Santa Clarita's quiet suburban streets became the perfect place for twisted comedy and horror. Yet the cast didn't laugh when strange things kept happening in the house used for filming. A young actress insisted she saw a figure standing behind a curtain, but when the crew checked, the room was empty. The lights in the hallway flickered constantly during shooting, even after electricians rewired them twice. One night, alarms in the house went off on their own, waking everyone on set, but the security system wasn't connected. Many said the house felt like it was watching them. Megan 2022 used Santa Clarita's forest trails and isolated modern homes, and the eerie feeling only grew stronger. A camera operator said he saw a child-sized silhouette move between trees during a late-night shoot, but no children were on location. Actors complained of sudden cold spots even in the summer heat, especially near a small wooden bridge. One crew member fainted after claiming she heard someone whisper, "Don't play here," right in her ear. Equipment malfunctioned repeatedly whenever the doll prop was placed near the woods. Santa Clarita might shine in daylight, but once darkness settles in, it becomes a place where shadows move on their own. Empty houses breathe quietly, and something unseen lingers just out of sight, waiting, watching, and reminding everyone that horror here feels a little too real. Number 7. Burbank. Burbank, California may be known as the media capital of the world, but behind its bright studio lights and polished sets lies a darker, hidden side. Many horror films shot here have left cast and crew shaken by experiences that felt far too real. The city's older neighborhoods, deserted backlots, and aging studio buildings carry an unsettling energy that awakens during late-night shoots. 3 major horror films connected to Burbank: The Conjuring 2 2016, Annabelle Comes Home 2019, and It Chapter 2 2019, brought more than props and makeup to set. They brought unexplained shadows, cold touches, and eerie moments the crews still talk about. During The Conjuring 2 2016, key studio scenes were filmed in Burbank sound stages known for strange electrical issues and odd noises late at night. Actors reported hearing footsteps walking above the ceiling even though the space had no upper floor. One crew member swore he heard a woman crying behind a closed storage room door, but when the team opened it, the room was completely empty. Several people felt sudden freezing chills during emotional scenes, as if something invisible had drifted through the room. One actress walked off set trembling, saying she felt someone gently take her hand, even though she was alone. For Annabelle Comes Home 2019, one of the studio buildings became the center of unsettling activity. Cast members noticed props moving slightly between takes, especially anything related to dolls. A camera operator captured a shadow figure crossing the hallway on playback footage, though no actor had been there. At night, the building's old pipes groaned loudly, almost sounding like low whispers. A security guard refused to patrol the top floor after claiming he saw a pale face staring at him through a glass door that led to a locked room. It Chapter 2 2019 used Burbank studio sets and dark backlots for several sequences. These areas looked harmless during the day but transformed into chilling, maze-like spaces after midnight. Extras said they heard faint laughter near an empty alley where Pennywise scenes were filmed. One lighting technician felt something tug on his jacket so hard he turned around expecting a prank, yet no one was near him. During one night shoot, the power shut down across the entire backlot, leaving everyone in pure darkness for nearly a minute. Technicians later said the outage had no clear cause. Burbank may appear glamorous from the outside, but deep inside its silent studios and forgotten hallways, something old and unseen seems to linger. It watches, it listens, and sometimes it makes itself known, turning film sets into places where fiction meets true fear.